Just three radio hosts on air dumb debating.
This is that time of week where we take your debates and we bring them to the people. And all you have to do is send us your questions. John at 1620thezone.com, Josh at 1620thezone.com, Nick at 1620thezone.com. That's the Equitable Bank inbox. Or use the JTech Construction Zone Twitter X feed at USC 1620. Please use the hashtag dumbdebates.
Makes it easier to find the questions on future days.
Yes, it does. One from the inbox.
Lovely.
From Chris. Money Chris.
Oh, what's up, Chris?
Money Chris.
Says, just for the sake of a dumb debate, let's say we had to make a new hire for head coach today. Do you take Dion or Scott Frost?
Frost.
Damn, you took my answer.
Yeah, I feel like you're selling your soul if you're going after Prime. Mainly because, like, you're going to get a lot of fame. But I think it was Odson who said this earlier this week. I'd rather lose anonymously than lose so very publicly. And like if it's Nebraska, I guess you're always losing publicly. But with Deion Sanders, you lose in a way where everyone is rooting against it. Yeah. And there's a part, again, it feels like you're selling your soul a little bit to try to do it. Whereas Frost is just a bad coach.
Part of this is I'm banking on the fact that after, granted, he has outside of, he's had this job with the Rams as an analyst for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's done a great job.
That there might be an element of more introspection and not, believing all the headlines that were written about him, and maybe having a little more humility that at least there's a chance that it won't go as poorly. But at least even if it did, I don't think you would have the same level of vitriol, because a lot of people would. What I'm really going to be fascinated about is how people look at Colorado after Deion's gone.
Yeah, like will people view them as like, wow, look at what you did.
Yeah,
you did this.
You brought this gimmick on yourself, and listen, there's going to be a lot of the same people that will have those takes were the same people who are like fawning all over Deion.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it works, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all mesmerized by celebrity until that celebrity steers us wrong.
100%.
Once upon a time, many, 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 many people loved Donald Trump in the celebrity sphere.
Oh, yeah.
And now many of those same people don't like Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing could happen here with Deion.
Yeah, well, like you said, it'll be interesting with Colorado. It'll also be interesting to see what happens with him and how he is viewed and how people take him in. He'll do something. He'll be on TV.
Oh, sure.
He'll be a coach. He'll do something.
Jarrah's going to hire him before he dies.
No, he is not. Nick?
I think it would be a worse look nationally for Nebraska if they went back to Frost than if they went to Deion. Because Deion, yeah, he talks a game and he's annoying. But
so you're saying hire Deion just because you've already had Frost?
We've already had Frost, and I think that
interesting.
The state has already had Frost, and I think
Royal we.
Thank you.
He keeps calling Nebraska we. I just don't know if he's a fan or not. I'm just asking.
In my calendar for the game I'm going to on Saturday, I have it as you and I game.
Yeah, well, you keep calling Nebraska we, you're going to have to start changing it to Nebraska game. What if the school isn't Nebraska? What if it's just any school? Does it change your answer?
What do you mean?
So if instead of in Nebraska, it's Iowa is hiring a coach, does it change your answer?
Yeah.
It's Frost?
Yeah.
So Nebraska is just because they've already had
Nebraska's because they've already done that. And then I think that's still going to be a national story anyway with where Nebraska's at now. Either way, it's going to be national stories, but I think it would be less embarrassing if Deion was here than if Frost was here.
In the spirit of the question, because it is a wild hypothetical, obviously you're not going to be just down to those two choices. Just if you were an athletic director and those were the only two choices you had. Forget about what the school is. Just say it's
Frost.
Generic school.
Frost is the answer.
To me, Frost is the answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike asks, would you rather pay to go to a watch party for a regular season game at your team stadium or literally anything else? I've always found those, the answer is literally anything else. I've always found those very odd.
What
just watch parties at a stadium where your team is not playing that day. Like they showed shots of Lambeau and the link on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I get watching things as a community, but I don't know. They're big screens, as big as they are, they're still so far away. And I wouldn't want to go to a stadium and have to crane my neck at because like it's not like the big screen's in front of you. You have to turn and look at it. So yeah, no thanks.
I mean, they're not. The people that are going, it's not like they're selling out the stadium. And nowadays in stadiums.
That's what he's asking, though. Would you rather pay to go to a watch party for a regular season game at your team stadium or literally anything else? I have no desire to ever go to like if Nebraska was like, hey, we're having a watch party at Memorial Stadium. I'd say, have fun. I'm going to stay at home on my couch.
I think it'd be a fun one-off.
Yeah.
That's why you're going. You're going for the communal
experience
aspect because you're surrounded by.
No, again, I get all that. It's just the craning of my neck. I don't want to crane my neck.
Do you crane your neck when you watch movies? Because I imagine it would be similar to going to a movie theater.
It wouldn't, though. Depending on, where you're sitting.
Well, like John said, it's not going to sell out, though. You're going to get a good seat.
Yeah.
But you're not like, okay, so at Memorial Stadium, what would be the best seat to have? Because it still's not going to be a great view.
I think, it depends on the stadium.
But even pro stadiums, unless
if you're at Jerry World.
Now, that is different. If it's a dome or the Rams Stadium, SoFi, where the thing is in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
I think
if you're not, it would suck.
I think a baseball stadium lends itself to this better because I feel like all of the boards are kind of better placed in baseball stadiums. The scoreboards.
Yeah, but you're still so far away.
Yeah, you're far away from it.
Yeah, but they're really big.
Yeah, but as big as the thing is, I would not want to watch a game on it. It's too far away.
I'd do it in Coors because of the view.
Let's just keep the sports questions going. Okay, so this is the one that
you were the one that was complaining about.
So I just want it to be like, who is better, Nebraska or Iowa? So
the obvious answer is Iowa.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and they were talking about Dak's contract, and then somebody offhandedly mentioned this, and so I thought this is a great question. Which athlete in American sports, professional team American sports, will be the first to get a salary of $100 million a year?
Some freshman who's in college right now, probably. That
you think so?
That nobody knows yet.
See, I was thinking about this last week.
It won't be an NIL thing. And even if it was, we won't
I'm saying
someone who is currently he's basically saying like a Dylan Raiola, because by the time that Raiola is at a place to get the second deal.
Not necessarily Raiola, but it's going to be somebody we don't know.
See, now I disagree. So here, I have my pick. Do you have a guess at all? I think the answer is Big Vic in San Antonio. No, I don't know if he'll be with San Antonio. But the NBA already has salaries that are above $60 million.
Yeah.
So they're close. It's not going to be LeBron because he's too old. It's not going to be Harden. He's too old. It's not going to be Steph. He's too old. Mm-hmm. So you got to find somebody in the NBA that is a special talent. And I think that he might be the most special talent because he's a freakazoid. He's 7 foot whatever. And he's super athletic.
Also, when he holds a basketball, it looks like
the NBA.
softball.
The NBA is the most likely candidate for which league it would happen in.
Because like Shohei not getting it,
well,
like,
Shohei's deal is, he's locked in.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, if Shohei can't get it, then no baseball player can get it. I did think about Mahomes because anytime he wants more money.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, am I forgetting somebody?
Well, basketball does it quickly, but I feel like the NFL takes bigger leaps than basketball does.
And the NFL takes big leaps fairly quickly too, where it's like chunk. Like Dak is at 60 now. And not that long ago, $50 million for a quarterback was like, wow, $50 million.
I feel like every few months we hear the new salary for somebody and we're like, this is crazy.
Who are you looking at, John?
Oh, I forgot that Bobby Witt signed an 11-year.
Yep, he's good to go.
He's locked.
So I think baseball is kind of out in this discussion. I think you have to go to football, but I think you mainly have to go to basketball.
Yeah, it's out unless again, there's some phenom. Well,
Charles says Anthony Edwards. Mike says Anthony Edwards, Jokic, or Luka. See, Luka's a good one. Anthony Edwards is a good one. Max says whichever sport gets poached by the Saudis. So again, we're just talking professional team sports. Yeah. So like golf won't count here. Charles says Judge.
What about Live? Live is a team sport.
Yeah, nice, Nick. What about Aaron Judge? What's Aaron Judge's salary, and when does it end?
Now, now it's not going to happen, but Juan Soto is going to be the biggest free agent this year.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if Shohei couldn't command that much money, then like, no offense to Juan Soto, but he's not going to be able to command that.
Juan Soto's
not right now because we haven't reached that level.
And baseball,
Aaron Judge is signed through 2031.
It's a basketball player. I think it's
a basketball player.
I think Victor Wembanyama, like his contract is going to be up soon relative terms. But I think some of the other names, Luka's a really good one to mention because he is still young and he's really, really good. But I think my answer, I think it's Victor Wembanyama. I think he'll be the first $100 million a year player.
All right, from friend of the Grum, Alex Sindelar. In the same spirit of the very controversial question from several months ago, when Josh chose farts over food, or food over farts, and I tried to explain to him the theory of multiplicity, and this is a similar question.
Perfect.
Kind of.
Give it to me.
Would you rather drive a souped-up sports car across the country, Cannonball Run style? That's a race across the country.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to listen to disco at volume levels that increase by 5 decibels every 50 miles.
Oh, my gosh.
Or be the face of a 24-hour telethon to raise money to get serial killers out of prison.
What a question.
Give me Disco Ball Run. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Nick, you're going to go deaf, though.
Yes, you're going to go deaf. Now, Alex,
what does Cannonball Run style mean?
Cannonball Run is
L.A. to New York.
You're trying to go as fast as you can and you're breaking the speed limit, but you're trying to avoid the cops.
Okay. He has a follow-up?
Well, he's got a follow-up because Husker Fan for Life pointed out that if you're going across country and the music is going up by 5 decibels, even starting at 0, every 50 miles, you're talking
going to go deaf.
You're talking about,
you're rupturing eardrums.
Exactly.
Okay.
So instead, Alex said, I didn't put enough thought into it and did bad math. But so they did change it to every 110 miles. So basically, by the time you got to the end of the Cannonball Run, you're basically talking about, Kansas City Chiefs level stadium sound. But you're having to listen to disco.
So
all the way across.
New York to LA is 2,445 miles.
Yes.
So at the end, it would sound like an NFL stadium, but for much of the end, it would sound close to an NFL stadium for hours.
And you're listening to disco.
But it's not going to make me deaf level yet by the end.
It shouldn't.
Okay, I think that's my answer.
No, Disco Ball Run is it's the easiest answer.
Yeah, when it was the first one where it was just going to go up 5 decibels every 50 miles, then it was just going to be game over. So I was going to actually do the serial killer telethon. But if I'm not going to go deaf, and it's not a guarantee, I mean, it's still going to be really loud for much of it.
I mean, keep in mind, you can run for president as a felon or as someone who raises money to release felons from prison. You can do that.
Do you want to run for president, though, or do you want to do Disco Ball Run?
No, I just want to survive. But I don't want to go deaf.
I mean,
what's your answer?
This would be a hell of a feather in your cap for the murder cult.
Yeah, but that'd be too.
It's the Josh Peterson murder cult. You could be like the Jerry Lewis of murder cult.
See, but that'd be too on the nose.
Or the Dick Clark.
That'd be too on the nose.
Be like the Dick Clark.
Well, Dick Clark never
killers.
did telethon. Jerry Lewis.
Mike says Josh would do decibels if it was a podcast. Yeah, that's a bummer. I couldn't listen to my podcasts unless I turned up those really loud on my phone.
See, that's the challenge for Josh. It's not listening to the disco. It's not driving fast across the country. It's having to go that entire. It's probably like a 2-day journey without listening to any podcasts.
That's a lot of, my library would be so large. I'd have to skip some by that point.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do the driving though.
Well, now that they have adjusted the levels so that I won't go deaf.
Is that your answer? Now
Disco
Dave
Ball
5
Run.
points out sounds above 185 decibels can cause death by impacting your inner organs. And what was the loudness here? 127.
Yeah,
so it's not going to destroy my inner organs.
By the time we,
man, that's
so it's either free the killers or be killed.
Yeah,
by death by overexposure to disco
by
music.
1,000 songs.
What a way to go! If I died because my organs got impacted listening to ABBA, that would be sick.
You're sick.
I want this. This sounds awesome.
Oh my God.
Disco Ball Run. Hell yeah, baby.
Severe says disco is awesome.
Hell yeah, it is, Severe.
I can tolerate.
I can't wait for you and Michael to yell at each other on Friday.
I love
disco.
disco.
I'm at a radio station in Minnesota. Good times.
Why am I yelling at Michael?
No, Nick and
I don't think we have anything to yell about this time.
He'll find.
We don't have to worry about retcons and Super Troopers.
He'll find something you say that he's like.
No, he'll probably yell. Michael will probably yell at Nick for picking Super Troopers.
Probably, yeah,
because he didn't want to see.
He doesn't want to watch something funny.
Cody, that's a reminder. We'll be at Omaha Roncalli.
Some of us will be. Yeah. Cody says, when you use plastic silverware, do you wash it prior to use? This is coming out of a factory, and the boxes are not sealed, so product is easily tampered with.
No,
I've
never thought about it.
I never have thought about that one time.
It's like the whole ramen thing, where it's like if you get ramen noodles, the really cheap ones.
Yeah.
But if you see the warehouses they're stored in,
should you just not eat it?
Like not eat it raw, at least, because some people eat it raw.
I don't eat it raw.
I think
I've survived this long by not washing my plastic silverware, so I'm not going to start now.
Yeah, I'm probably fine. Good for the immune system.
Well,
rub some dirt in it.
Bingo, Nick. It's good to eat dirt sometimes.
My guess is that they probably they do something in the manufacturing process to protect it.
Yeah, they probably put chemicals on there that you then ingest.
Well, we're ingesting chemicals all the time, but what I'm saying is, I'm guessing they're being somewhat safe with the.
You're putting a lot more faith in.
You are putting a lot
systems than I would.
We're gonna find out that it's like the jungle.
You already are, because how
plasticware.
many times have you had plastic silverware?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's not that I didn't put faith. I just didn't ever think about this, but I'm just going to keep going with it. I've lived this long.
So you are putting faith into it.
I'm putting faith in my immune system. It's a tough ass immune system. I work very hard.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Drinks a lot of orange juice.
I mean, we were all masking up a few years ago, and remember it killed all of our immune systems.
Well, wait, are you saying that the billions of people who died, John?
We have to rebuild. We have to fight it back.
Well,
build back better.
That's why I'm going to keep eating with the plastic.
I saw mine. Though I don't like eating with the plastic silver, because more often than not, the damn thing
breaks. Exactly.
Yeah, those things are not good at cutting.
Sky says, if you could steal one animal from the zoo, what would it be?
Steal an animal?
Yep.
Giraffe.
Why?
What the hell are you going to do with a giraffe?
And where are you going to store it?
What are you going to do with any of these zoo animals, John? I'm answering the question.
It could be a fish. You just take one of the little fish.
Oh, that'd be fun. A fun, bright fish.
Some of these fish need salt water and then special tanks and treatments. Otherwise, you're just going to take a fish and it's going to die.
Well, no, they have freshwater fish too.
Now Michael's texting me about retcon. Text Nick about retcon. I don't want to argue with you, Michael.
You brought this on yourself.
Giraffe, because I think they're goofy and I like them.
But again, where would you store
what are you going to do? What are you going to tie the thing up outside, up to the sign there, so he doesn't walk away?
Yeah,
That'd
why
be
not?
awesome.
He
The
could be the
official
nerd media mascot.
Yeah, look at the giraffe out there.
Yeah, and when he breaks the
1620,
when
the
he breaks
giraffe.
it because you don't tie the knot properly, and he walks in the middle of Dodge Street and gets crushed.
Sean, he'll be a well-behaved giraffe.
You don't know this.
Yes, I do. I can train a giraffe.
You've never.
There's not a movie called How to Train a Giraffe.
There should be.
I'm trying to think of like a cuddly little animal that wouldn't want to murder me. I don't know the answer to that.
What are the birds? Get a bird.
No, I don't know. Birds they poop everywhere.
Everything poops everywhere, Josh.
Yeah,
There's
but
a whole book about
birds
it.
just fly and then it poops. No thanks. I don't want a bird. John, you probably getting one of the weird looking fish would be fun. Sure, I'll take a weird fish. I don't even like fish. I don't want an aquarium in my home, but I'll take one of those fish. And I don't have to be bothered by it.
You're missing an opportunity to have a giraffe.
Yeah, I guess I am.
I'm just trying to think if there's any little.
One of the penguins could be fun too.
Jordan says I'd sell a peacock and chase Nick around with it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's get a peacock and bring it into the zone.
That'd be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
My giraffe would protect me.
By the way,
we need like back in the day, Carson used to have Joan Embry from the zoo come in and bring in animals. We need to have a segment like that where someone from Henry Dorley comes in and brings in a peacock just to see what Nick does.
Mm.
And then maybe ties up a giraffe out in our parking lot.
Hell yeah.
Zach emails it. Now, do you know about the Shannon Sharpe situation?
I saw something and I meant to watch it.
Well,
I don't think you have to watch it. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, I just heard that he claims that his social media was hacked.
But do you know about the other part of the story?
No.
Look at the Twitter DM that I sent.
So Shannon Sharpe
Well, that's
apparently...
what I said. I was going to watch it. I haven't seen it yet.
Shannon Sharpe apparently, he went on Instagram Live and he was having relations with somebody. And it actually... So Instagram Live, John, is like... I mean, you know what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I've
all right, perfect. So we all know what it is. All right, Zach asks, who between Josh, John, and Nick would be most likely to accidentally leak a Shannon Sharpe-esque video?
Well, I know how to use technology, so not me.
Yeah, but
also my phone. I don't.
But you also
need
use
my phone.
The technology.
I don't need my phone within reaching distance.
Well, neither
if
do
I'm
I.
doing
See,
things.
but I bet Nick's doing stuff more often than you and I are. We're married now,
Heyo.
not to each other.
I think
That's the answer. It's
I think
Nick
it's Nick.
because there's more quantity.
But I'm nowhere near my phone.
Your phone's not like
Where's
on
your
an
phone right now?
end table.
In my pocket.
It's not on an end table. It's not in your pocket when maybe the kissing starts.
Well, if it's in my pocket when the kissing starts, then it's
Yeah.
going to stay in my pocket after the kissing is well
Yeah, well,
past.
then it's still close by.
Sing it to sleep.
Still close by, Nick.
After the love.
But like the only way this would happen is if you're messing with your phone while this is happening. Unless his phone just did it by himself.
Why can't that happen? Why can't you be messing around on it and
Yeah,
the
why-
mood strikes?
You could have been shooting one of your TikToks and going, hey, you know it'd be cool if I did my little thing in front of this Buc-ee's.
And then she's like,
store.
wow, I'm so turned on by
And then
you, Nick.
and then she's like, oh, this brisket at Buc-ee's really turns me on, and it starts
Suddenly
right there.
everything happens, and then
First
you're
of all-
like, I'm Shannon Sharpe.
The Buc-ee's brisket is good, but it's not Goldberg's curly fries, all right?
Well, nothing is, Nick. Man, that sounds delicious right now.
I mean,
The answer is Nick. Again, the quantity.
yeah, it's just the sheer quantity of
Yep.
you
Nick,
wanting
congrats.
to.
It's a congratulations to you.
Yeah.
You're still in your 20s.
It could be happening on the Frolf course.
Yep, exactly.
It's not happening on the Frolf
Star
course.
Wars Fiend
It
says no
could.
one wants to see John on video. Yeah, the follow-up
No,
is
no one
which
wants
of
to
us
see-
do our
no.
listeners most want to see
To
in
be
a Shannon
fair,
Sharpe type
in
video?
the Sharp video, we don't see anything, do we? It's just
I
a
don't
bunch
know.
of grunting and a floor.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You tell
yeah.
us, Nick. You've barely watched it already.
I haven't watched.
You've broken down the all two.
It's running here on my computer. It looks like the phone
It's
is
just a
pointed
bunch of
down
grunting
at
in the floor.
Yeah.
People are like, you heard him.
See, that could happen.
Somebody described
it
it
could happen.
as he's breathing like he's trying to start a lawnmower.
Mm.
Well, I'll have to check this out during the break. I've been meaning to.
Maybe he's uploaded to zonetv.live. KD says, by the way, stealing an animal, koala. Got to be a koala. See, but aren't they
They have
murderous?
syphilis.
Are they murderous?
Koalas are known for having syphilis.
Mm.
You want the syphilis from a koala?
Are you saying the koala is a syphilis bear?
Hey, kids. By the way, Severe just sent in a photo of him with somebody from the zoo. And
Yeah,
is that
yeah. They
penguin?
They had a
Penguin.
that was back when the other show had the tiny baby board instead of the big giant one that they use all the time.
Yeah. They
Oh.
had animals come in once.
Yeah, mine. It's either giraffe or
People
penguin.
like-
giraffe.
On Sportsful Iconic was a better show back then. Everybody knows that they liked Kevin and Michael more than they like you
Yeah.
and me. And we never get animals. Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why haven't you
Kareem
booked Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nick?
Kareem
Or
Abdul-Jabbar.
Daryl Strawberry.
Yeah. Who do John and I
Or
talk
Alyssa
to?
Milano.
Yeah, Mitch Holtis and Mike Schaefer. No offense.
You know what? Fine. I'll book
Wow.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and we can talk about social justice and stuff and the like
Sounds great.
for 45 minutes.
I would love to talk to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He seems extremely insightful. I think he'd be.
He
really
is.
interesting.
He's insanely smart.
Yes.
It'd be a really good interview.
By the way, Michael has followed up and said in the next picture, it bit me. That's a bummer.
See, that'd be the thing. He gets the giraffe, and it turns out to be one of those mean giraffes, and it bites him.
it would be a well-behaved giraffe, John.
Dave
You
Fight
don't
says
know this.
radio is a great medium for live animals. Yeah, the theater of the mind. But we're on zonetv.live.
Yeah,
Zone
now
TV
we're
dot
on.
live.
See, back then, that's
It's
one
just-
thing this Grum has that Grum didn't. We have Zone TV.
Yeah, they had something called Lacey Cam. It was a different time.
Yeah, and then
Perverts would just log on and watch Lacey.
and then
Oh.
certain guests would like leer at her.
How the hell did
Oh, that's
Lacey
right.
get through that generation?
Wouldn't they leave messages for her on
Oh,
her voicemail?
Nick, how did Lacey get through that generation?
Lacey is
Very easily.
Lacey is
Lacey is not. She's not troubled by many things.
Lacey is the funniest person that
Yes.
I like actually know
Well-
in my life. Lacey is the funniest person.
Well, props to you, Lacey, for putting up with all that BS.
Oh, she wasn't putting up with anything. She was like she was having fun with it.
She was having fun with it.
Yeah, she really was.
She didn't mind.
Kevin and Lacey together, that should be a podcast. It would
Well,
have
it
to have the
depends. Are they
explicit
fighting that
tag.
day or not? They
Kevin-
had their moments.
Kevin's gonna kill you for that. I cannot believe you just
Oh,
said that.
Boo. Everyone knew that they were squabbling half the time.
They're friends now.
Yes, they're friends now.
They're great friends.
friends now, but
Mike comments, "Hey Kareem, I hear you like weed." There you go. First question.